Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Rufus Williams on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or our participating sponsors.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON. On the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The Audio Genius.
Get in on the conversation with Rufus Williams and the Morning Show at 591-1690. We are the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Good morning, and welcome to Monday. It is the 27th of July, the year 2026. It's the Rufus Williams Show. I am Rufus Williams, and as always, thrilled, excited, just so delighted to be here with you this morning, and thank you so much for waking up with Rufus. Everybody's in place. The Rue Crew co-captains are here. Titus is here. Annette is here. And, hey, I'm here. So let's get to it. Annette, what is going on outside? What is all this stuff that I walked out into this morning?
You walked out into a pot of soup. It is so
God.
soupy and muggy and hot. It's awful. It's stifling.
You can't see, you can't smell. If you've never been in a sauna, this is what it is. This is exactly what it is.
That's exactly right.
What happened overnight, though? It was fine. It was warm, but it was fine last night. I was wondering. At first, Titus, I thought there's a problem with daylight savings time because the sun isn't up. That's what I was thinking. And it never came up. And there were no buildings to be seen in the skyline downtown. It was just, it's rough outside.
It was up, but there's fog and haze and humidity and just all kinds of things going on out there. There's a couple, we're under a couple of heat advisories, and we're going to see a heat index today of 110 in some areas. So they're warning, just warm, hot, and muggy, and just wear cotton and some deodorant. That's about all you can do.
Please, deodorant. Whether you wear cotton or not is on you, but absolutely wear the deodorant. There's no way to escape what's going on. So whatever you do, if you don't have to go outside, don't. But please check on our seniors, check on your neighbors, make sure that everybody is good. I say all that, and BJ's going out to get us all some pancakes, it sounds like. So.
I was just about to say that. I read the comment. It was like, are you bringing us some?
Yeah, blueberry, banana, whatever your choice is.
That's about my grade, yeah. Blueberry or banana.
Make sure they're fluffy and tasty.
Absolutely.
That part's important. A lot went on this weekend. First of all, the tribute to Pam Moores at the Gospel Fest was phenomenal.
Absolutely. So I didn't get a chance to go, But I was here working her show yesterday, and so she wanted to give you, Annette, all the other hosts, great credit for interviewing her. She said she had a wonderful time, and she didn't expect any of that love that came throughout the week on WVON. And then just the whole thing and fulfillment of what actually happened at the Gospel Fest. She was just overjoyed. So it was a pleasure just seeing her yesterday.
It was really wonderful to see her down there. The place was packed. I mean, there were a lot of people, and if you like slow and melodic gospel music in that vein, this was not the place for you to be, because the folks were getting it in. It was loud. It was anxious. This was a whole revival that took place Saturday night. And the tribute to Pam, the video tribute, which will be on Vine TV, and just the comments around her and the reaction from the crowd to her, it was really, really something.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go, but I did see some of the stuff on social media, and I had told her about it yesterday, and it was just awesome. I mean, I think from what I heard of the numbers, it was about maybe 7,000 to 8,000 people out there, and so the love and affection that she got from the crowd, from the videos that I saw, it was just amazing.
Yeah, I was there. Rufus was in the house.
Yeah, she told me she saw you.
You look, a good friend who's actually been on our show a few times, Saudia Davis, works now for DCase, and I saw Saudia, and she helped me get around to say hello to Pam, because she was big time. She was up on stage and down in the front, so we couldn't get to her. Ted London was also big time because he was up there too. So it was a wonderful celebration of her, and I did a big. I messed up on Friday. I forgot to tell everybody that I was going to be on the Weekend Review.
Oh, wow.
I was on the Weekend Review on Friday.
Get it together.
I thought about it. There was so much going on. Friday's show was so packed, and packed in a good way. We spent the first hour with Pam, but after I left, I'm like, ooh, I forgot to tell people about that, which was really interesting at the Gospel Fest. As I was walking through the crowd, and I played golf one Saturday, so I had on shorts and I had on my cap. And a guy, not of our community, ran up to me and said, "Excuse me." He ran down the aisle, caught me. I was walking away. He said, "Excuse me, did I just see you on WTTW?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I love when you go on there. And now you're walking through here trying to be incognito, but I know who you are." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." So even though I didn't tell him, he somehow caught it. So it was a full weekend. Everybody was outside someplace this weekend. So let's talk about women's basketball.
Oh, yeah, got to.
The WNBA was in full effect here in Chicago. Why didn't Caitlin Clark participate in the three-point contest?
I don't know why she didn't. It just seemed like it was a shoo-in if she did.
Well, she wasn't a shoo-in, not the way Azizi Fudd was shooting.
Oh, man.
She was anything but a shoo-in. But why, that part was troubling to me. Simply, I think back, Titus, and Dr. J participated in the slam dunk contest. Michael Jordan participated in the slam dunk contest. Dominique Wilkins participated in the slam dunk contest. They didn't avoid participating for whatever reason. And sometimes you see in Larry Bird, Steph Curry, the shooters do what they do. So she played in the game. She had a logo 3 in the first few seconds. So I thought maybe you would have some answer for me.
No, it wasn't anything. It wasn't like she was hurt or anything like that. She just didn't participate, which is weird. And like you alluded to, the Stars always did the dunk contest and the three-point contest because that's originally how they start to get their name out there for national media to know who they are. And so with this whole thing with LeBron never doing it, and it just became one of those things where people don't be as excited as far as the dunk contest anymore because of those things, because none of the big names are in it anymore. And with the three-point shooting contest, we usually get a Steph. You saw even Damian Lillard participated and won it this year, and he didn't play all season. So it's just one of those things where, I don't get why she didn't do it. Everybody does know who she is, but at the same time, shooters got to shoot.
Yeah, that was just interesting. But Azizi Fudd showed out.
Oh, she did.
The rookie who she was the number 1 pick. She missed 6. That was the totality of the shots that she missed. She made every single one otherwise. So, yeah, talk about putting your name out. And obviously she was the number one pick, so you knew who she was. She plays in Dallas, and they're doing well. But to go out and just drop them like that against these veterans, and she's cool as a cat, man.
Yeah, I mean, she was calm. I mean, just the shot, the follow through, the release, everything was nice. She wasn't in a hurry. It was great. I mean, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Stephen Curry a couple years ago.
Yeah, you don't want to play against her.
No, definitely not.
There's some, I think about this T-shirt when And One was first getting started, and they just gave out these T-shirts. And there was one that said, it was all fun and games on the front. It was all fun and games on the back. It says, until some chick dunked in your face. So it's I'm glad that I'm at a point that I retired, so I don't have any thoughts about running up against some of these sisters. As Jonquil Jackson said, Jonquil Jones told the president, I like him, but he can't guard me. When they were all out at the Obama Presidential Center, which was a whole other cool thing because they were there going through their warm-ups, and he showed up. And just to watch their reaction to him there was really wonderful.
I think the best part about it was the hot mic with President Obama and Caitlin Clark. And he talked about it, hey, like, I didn't become famous until I was 45. Yeah. I was an old A-man at the time. You're young. Don't let none of this stuff get to you. This whole media and, the current incumbent and all of that other stuff. Don't let all this stuff get to you. Just be a young person and enjoy life and enjoy the game. So I thought that was pretty great for him to say that to her.
Yeah, he said, you're great. You are great. And keep doing what you do. You're my daughter's age. And to your point, I was 45 before anybody knew who I was. So, and then she asked him if he would like to take a picture. Like, okay, this is a lot. But then she brought in all of her teammates to take the picture as well. But yeah, and someone posted what he just did in 20 seconds is what the commissioner has yet to do to really build up around her and build her confidence.
Which is so weird because we talked about this earlier before the season started. And I remember Nafia Costa wrote a letter to her in the offseason about possibly for her to resign. And so it's just weird how she still has been quiet all this time.
Yeah, that's why she doesn't get the love that she would otherwise want to get. But rarely are commissioners popular with players anyway, because they negotiate that collective bargaining agreement. And anytime in negotiations, they get heated and it's hard to get beyond them, which is why you have agents, because they take all the heat and the players don't have to. The stadium was sold out. There were more people at this WNBA All-Star game than any other game in the WNBA, which was Chicago showed up.
Yeah, it was so cool. And then one last thing, too, as well, that I didn't notice until yesterday, but the mayor of Chicago also went around in the WNBA. They organized together to call it this orange stripe thing, and it was a campaign where they painted basketball courts with an orange extra three-point line to make the courts more seen for young ladies around the city. And so one of the courts was around my house, Foster Park. They had the mayor come over, they did a press conference, they repainted the court, they got the WNBA logo out there. So I thought that was pretty cool of them to do that.
That is cool, and it certainly leaves something for them having been here. The NBA All-Star break lasts almost a week. The WNBA All-Star break lasts 3 days. So even though they were all here and folks were able to go see them at the game and see them at the Wintrust Arena, there was so much else going on. I mean, there was everything, every single thing that could happen was happening in Chicago this weekend. Let's take a quick break. We need to talk about LeBron to Philly, Ryan Clark. Annette and I got some stuff to talk about too, because there were some other things that happened. And we got time.
Correspondence dinner.
The correspondence dinner, of course, which I forgot it happened, and probably most people. Is he done speaking yet? He talked for more than an hour. But we'll cover all those things. And 773-591-1690, if you want to get into the conversation, give us a call. We'll be back right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's Rufus Williams. The thrill of summer is finally here, which also means it'll be over before we know it. This fall, the Rufus Williams Travel Club is heading to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Join me as we experience the beauty, the brilliance, and the culture of one of America's most captivating cities. We'll enjoy the charm of the Lowcountry, breathtaking scenery, incredible cuisine, and the rich African-American history of Charleston. There will also be a few special surprises designed just for our group. So whether you're traveling alone, with family, or with friends, you'll be welcomed into an unforgettable experience filled with great people and great memories. Space is limited, and the best rates are right now. Simply go to WVON.com, click on the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner, and reserve your space. Advantage International is the official travel partner of the Rufus Williams Travel Club. Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Travel with people, travel with purpose, travel with us.
Hey, book your cabin now for the 2025 Tom Joyner Foundation Fantastic Voyage hosted by me, Ricky Smiley. We're going to party with a purpose to raise funds for HBCU. Sailing from New Orleans, October the 19th through the 26th with live performances from Neo, Mary, Tyrese, October London, Eric Benet, a Southern Soul Show with Mr. Boots on the Ground, 803 Fresh. Hey, cabins start as low as $1,750 with payment plans through September. Call 214-495-1963 or log on to FB2025.com for the details. Use my keyword Ricky.
Beauty is more than style, it's a story, and now you get to hear it straight from the source. Solo Beauty Supply presents the Hair Tour radio show, coming to WVON Saturdays at 2 p.m. From Chicago to the West Coast top salon owners, pull back the curtain on the business, the culture, and the grind behind the chair. From building brands to shaping communities, this is where beauty meets boss moves. Tune in, tap in, and take notes. The Hair Tour radio show, Saturdays at 2 p.m. only on WVON.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're starting with DuSable Lakeshore Drive because of all of the street closures in and around Grant Park as crews are now setting up for Lollapalooza, which starts on August 3rd. So right now, Balboa is closed. Most of Columbus Drive is shut down. So make sure you found some alternate routes and then expect delays. As you make your way along DuSable Lakeshore Drive, we're seeing early morning delays northbound right around Soldier Field, stop and go to Roosevelt Road, then again to Monroe. Those are mainly due to stoplight delays. As you make your way southbound, still so far so good. So far so good along the Ryan, traveling in from 95th Street into downtown off to a 20-minute start. The Bishop Ford, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, both moving well. If you're on the Stevenson, give yourself 35 minutes. And from I-355 to DuSable Drive, 35 traveling out. The Eisenhower off to a 45-minute start. From Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 40 traveling out. And the Kennedy, 30 minutes in from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the airport, we're seeing some early morning delays, already a 40-minute trip. Taking a look at our weather, hazy, hot, and humid. No other way to describe it. The National Weather Service says we're in store for a hot day. We could see some heat index that'll make it feel like 110 at times. So pretty hot and muggy today. Temperatures climbing to an official daytime high of around 90, though. Tonight, 76. Right now, at 7:24 in the morning, it's already 80 degrees at Midway. 80 in West Pullman, and 80 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flurnoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. One more thing on the WNBA weekend. Angel Reese. Angel Reese has her own Barbie doll now. So if
That
you
was
saw,
cool.
Yeah, that was real cool. She had the whole pink thing going, pink hair, holding up the Barbie, doing. She is a brander extraordinaire. I mean, she's getting her thing done.
Yeah, that's what I was telling the fellas on Friday too, as well, because we talked about it. Because she made a joke that with President Obama when she met him, that she had her plane come into the airport, and then another plane came in, and it turned out it was President Obama's, and she couldn't get off her plane. They said VIP, VIP. She's like, "Well, we're VIP," and then they told her like it's Obama. She's like, "Oh, never mind, forget it, never mind. That's Obama. He got to get off the plane."
Yeah, let's not get too big now. There's some that are bigger than other, but she is. Love what she's doing because she has done it without controversy or anything else. It just continues about the work. Glad she is wherever she is. She's in Atlanta now. We enjoyed her here, enjoy her there, and wish her nothing but the best. She made the pass for the dunk in the game, and her celebration was as if she had made the dunk herself. I mean, it was really, really fun to watch.
It really was. And then another thing she talked about, of course, was she had to get some Heralds while she was back in Chicago.
Well, of course.
And she talked about Uncle Remus, and she's like, I haven't had it, but everybody says it's good, so I got to make the stop and go and get that too.
Harold's is downtown. Is Uncle Remus downtown?
Uncle Remus, they moved one closer to downtown, but it's not technically downtown. It's closer to the west side.
Well, because it's the west side.
Exactly.
So anyway, get with that. Let me take Miss Eunice's call. Miss Eunice, good morning. Welcome to VON.
Good morning, Rufus. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Excuse the voice this morning. My sinus is acting up. Rufus, I enjoyed the gospel show, what I saw. I got there about 1:45 p.m., stayed until about 6, and I had to go because, I like to go different places. So I wanted to get back before dark. And I parked along the King Drive line, and when I came back to my car, got there about a little bit after somebody had stolen my car.
Miss Eunice, no.
And see, I live about 10 blocks, from there. So what I like to do is find me a route where it's straight shot, and then I can just run back to my house because usually I use Pace or Tap, but I figured daytime I'd be okay. But these are some vicious people out here. They don't care. They take your property, and it takes away a little of my independence because you know how I am. But I'm not going to let it get me down. So
it certainly won't. So, Miss Eunice, I guess now we'll see you driving around in a new Cadillac.
Well, no, unless you go fund me.
Look, whoever took Mrs. Eunice's car, take it back. That's not yours.
Yes.
Don't do that to
her.
Because,
I'm a senior, and I'm not going to buy another car. And my car is an old car, but it doesn't have any mileage on it. So when I want to go short hops, I just go to a car line, jump on, and come straight back to the house. So I don't have to be waiting on a car line. But God is good. It's not my life that was taken, so I'm okay with that. But I just wanted to let the people know we're just in prison in everything that we do. And thank you. And you get started on the GoFundMe, okay?
All right, Miss Eunice. I'm so sorry
All
to
right,
hear that.
thank you for taking my call.
Glad you're
and
good.
Hello to the VON family and pray for me.
Thank you. We'll do that.
Sure.
Man, Titus, we're almost up against the break. Well, I'll take Tony's call, and then we'll deal with the correspondence dinner and the WNBA stuff, and some things are happening at our HBCUs that we need to chat on as well. And that we'll do all that. But first, Tony, good morning. Welcome to VON. What's on your mind this morning?
Hey, good morning, my friend. How are you?
Tony, man, where you been?
Hey, man, I've been here. I've been tempted to call you, but I figure I'd just wait. But listen, WNBA, I've been picking up some of the Sky games. I was really hurt right before the All-Star game. They had a lead of about 6 or 7 points with a minute or two to play, and they lost.
Yeah,
I was really hurt by that. And then Miss Eunice, I'm so sorry about her car, but what are we going to do about the crime in the city, man? What are we going to do? They had a lot of gun shooting. And then 4 teenagers lost their lives in a car accident. Man, it's pretty bad out here. What are we going to do? Got a mayoral contest coming up. Today's the first day for the petitions. Who's going to get out there? Who's going to get out there? Are you? I'm going to listen. I'm going to hang up. I'm going to listen. Go to break. I'll pick up on the other side. Okay, man?
All right, Tony. Appreciate you, man. Good calls, right. Good questions, except that last one. Let's do this. Let's find out from Annette what else is going on in the news. More calls, more conversation when we come back after this.
Hot, muggy, and humid this morning. Temperatures climbing near 90. Good morning. I'm Anna Flurnoy, and here's what's happening. It's almost back to class for Chicago Public School students, and district leaders are still working to approve a balanced budget. In 3 days, the Board of Education is expected to vote on a $988 billion budget proposal. The plan could cut more than 700 teacher jobs in order to close the $732 million budget gap for the 2026-27 school year. Meanwhile, the Chicago Teachers Union wants the board to reject the spending plan outright. Well, temporary protected status for thousands of Haitians living in Chicago and the U.S. expires today. A federal appeals court judge blocked the Trump administration from ending TPS Friday, giving them protections through the weekend. However, the case is set to go before the appeals court today. Late last week, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul spoke exclusively with Rufus Williams. He says he, along with 20 attorneys, are asking Congress to pass legislation that will provide judicial oversight and set up a pathway to permanent residency.
The president made the misstatement of Haitians eating cats and dogs. And so one of the things we have to do also is just call out the racism of the president, the racism of the Supreme Court, ignoring the nature of the statements coming out of the president's mouth. Because, and what people have to understand, one of the challenges to the decision was that it was based on discrimination. And the Supreme Court just rejected that.
He says his fight is fueled by racist rhetoric coming directly from the White House. Well, the Village of Robbins honors a hometime champion. The village renamed South Clair Boulevard Dwayne Wade Boulevard. Wade was a star basketball player at Richards High School before landing at Marquette University to the Final Four in 2003. He played 16 years in the NBA, mostly with the Miami Heat, before retiring in 2019. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 7:33.
Early detection saves lives. Ladies, if you're due for a mammogram, don't wait. Breast cancer is most treatable when it's found early. Chicago Medicine makes it easier to take charge of your health. Eligible patients can self-schedule their mammogram online or through MyChart in just minutes. Visit uchicagomedicine.org/mammo to schedule your screening. That's uchicagomedicine.org/mammo. Chicago Medicine at the forefront.
Shop small with Wintrust Bank and celebrate the heart of our community, our local businesses. Listen as we share a list of small businesses throughout our community that we can shop, dine, and support throughout the year. These businesses are the economic engine that drives our neighborhoods. Wintrust knows that. That's why they're Chicago's bank and why they're encouraging you to shop local. Keep listening for the Wintrust Community Business Spotlight campaign. With Wintrust, shopping small is a big deal.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Still just about a 20-minute trip along the Ryan from 95th Street into downtown. Things are looking pretty good so far along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, do expect to see some delays as you approach right around Soldier Field northbound. That's due to street closures in and around Grant Park, as crews right now are setting up for Lollapalooza. Hollywood to Monroe, moving well for now. If you're on the Stevenson, things are bumping up pretty quickly. You're up to 40 minutes from I-355 to DuSable Drive 40 traveling out. Things are also getting a little heavier along the Eisenhower, now a 50-minute trip from Thorndale to the Burn Circle. 45 on the return. Just bumped up to 32 minutes along the Kennedy end from O'Hare to downtown, getting to the airport, now a 43-minute trip. Taking a look at our weather, it's hot and muggy out the door. Pretty sticky. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high near 90. Temperatures right now right around 80 is 80 at Midway, 80 in Woodlawn, and 80 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flurnoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. So there were a couple things in the news, Annette, that you just shared. One, what's happening with the Haitians and this temporary protective status that the Attorney General and I spoke about on Friday. I saw him yesterday. He was hosting a fundraiser for Aaron Ford, the current Attorney General of the state of Nevada, who you've heard here on our show, who will be back on our show because I don't go places without recruiting people. But he's also a good frat brother, but was with them yesterday, and we talked more about Haiti and this TPS. And here's the thing. Black folks need to be really troubled, concerned, engaged, involved in helping to push back on this removal of temporary protective status for Haitians. It was the Haitian Revolution that led to so much else that leads to us in our ability to truly push for a level of independence, because they showed what it was. And ever since then, all these other authorities have been making life difficult for Haiti, even through now. And the stories that we get told about what's happening in this country are really, in many cases, of our making, of the French government's making, and otherwise. But the thought to simply remove the status, given all else that is troubling in that country, should be troubling to each and every one of us. So we need to stay on that. I'll also let you all know, if you haven't otherwise heard, you'll hear in the promos today, but the Board of Education, as Annette mentioned, is voting on their budget later this week. Tomorrow morning, Dr. Macklin King will join me. She'll be with us. I don't know yet whether she'll come into the studio, but she'll be with us tomorrow morning to talk about things of the Board of Education. We'll cover a lot more than just this budget, because there's a lot more to talk about when we talk to her, and this is the first time she will have joined us since she has become the permanent CEO of schools. So looking forward to that conversation. Also, tomorrow, Reverend Siobhan Arlene Bradley, who is the president of the National Council of Negro Women, will join us as well. So, yeah, we're going to be killing it tomorrow, just as we do every day. So I wanted to make sure we picked up those things from just the news that was covered. Annette, I forgot that the Correspondents' Dinner was rescheduled until Friday. Did you stop and watch that?
You know, I knew about it on Friday, but it wasn't a must-see thing for me.
It was a
Not at all.
no-see, actually. Dude talked for an hour and 4 minutes, was not funny, was still trying to own the room, still talked too much about him, and tried to be funny. It's always interesting. You can kind of watch as you look at the crowd, who's laughing, who's just sitting and waiting to see where he is. I forgot about it until this morning, looking at Don Lemon's column. Said, "Oh yeah, that was on Friday," and of course he went after Don Lemon in his comments as well. So it was a must not see, quite frankly. So however you
Not at all. You know, it was typical. He pulled out the red cap, and he has this thing. It's a love affair, I think. He acts like he hates the press, but it is the press that he depends on, and he needs the press, and he uses the press to his advantage. I mean, he's a marketing expert, so he knows what he's doing. And it's very interesting because he was, pot shot after pot shot to the media, but it's all to ruffle feathers and to get exposure for himself.
As I thought about him this weekend, the whole scenario of Wag the Dog came back into focus. So many things. The Epstein files are not going away. The fact that people cannot afford living right now is not going away. Gas prices are going back up. And so you get involved in a war, because then that takes people's attention. But as we heard from the promo for Matt's show, as he talked about on Friday, people are dying from this thing, and young people are dying. And it's a war that we did not need to be in. But here we are with the Wag the Dog and try to distract from what our real issues are, and that never gets covered.
Yeah, Rufus, I did watch the correspondence dinner because I was here preparing for the show. And I watched it, and then it was just crazy because most of the journalists who won awards are the ones that he always calls out in the White House or in the meetings that he's in or all these press events
That he
that they
calls out
news
as
coverage
being
that they
nasty.
cover. So it was just crazy. And then the one that really got me was the Wall Street Journal, who he banned off Air Force One. They got the most awards. And then he had to shake their hands and talk about the Epstein files. And he looked so annoyed. So I was just like, this is great.
Okay, that part was good. So watch everything except the speech that he gave.
Pretty much.
All right, cool. That makes perfect sense to me. Annette, are you eating lettuce?
No, not at all. Not even parsley or cilantro or any leafy green vegetables right now.
You know, we had the conversation on WTTW, and one thing that you never expect to hear is conversations about exploding diarrhea, which which did in fact come up. And I say that, and I'll tell you, I was the only guy on the panel, so take it for whatever it is. But it was
Yeah, being the only guy, the fart jokes are just not funny when it's just, one guy.
Let me just say, I didn't say it, I didn't make it, I didn't do it, but yeah, it was. I was there with the View on Friday evening, but we did get in. Are you eating lettuce, Titus?
No, but I think I should so I can get a day off.
You may get more than that.
Oh, you might get more than that, definitely. Yeah, I hear it's just the most unpleasant thing, and it's just not lettuce, and I hate to call them out, but and it's Taco Bell who's in the middle of all of this because it was, they've sourced it back to the vendor that they use for lettuce. And that vendor also sells to some grocery stores. So it just made it into several states, and several people are extremely sick.
Yeah, and rather than do that, I just and I do enjoy salad. I really do. But I haven't since this thing has happened, and I don't know when we'll be comfortable that it's all good again because we're not at a point that we can rely on the CDC.
And you know what's even makes this even funnier? Well, I'm not supposed to be funny, but the fact is that I don't know if you guys seen it yesterday, but Taco Bell came out saying that they're trying to get people to actually come back into the restaurant and want them to, basically spend their money. They're giving out new deals so they can encourage people to come back.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Taco. We'll hold off for a little while longer. But, you can get your green leafy vegetables the way, Grandma, who always had that pot of greens on the stove. So go back to that, get you some nice smoked turkey meat in it. You don't have to put any fatty meat in it, and just, eat you some greens until this passes and you go back to your salads.
Yeah, and for me, in the meantime, I've been eating more fruit, but not raspberries, because I understand that also has an
Yeah, that's
issue.
part of it.
So yeah, do what you must, but maybe people should start carrying their own rolls of Charmin as well. Let's talk about. There's some things that have been going on with our HBCUs. Howard and Tuskegee, two of our more venerable, long-standing, historic HBCUs, were in the news this weekend. Howard University unexpectedly dropped 502 first-time freshmen from its incoming fall class due to unpaid tuition balances and missed financial obligations after a deadline of July 10th. I cannot imagine what that's like, because when you get accepted to a school like Howard, you're all kinds of excited. And to come to a point, and we saw the tearful students to come to this point and learn that you can apply again later, but this one is not going to work for you, is a really hard place to be.
Especially if that's like your dream school. That really sucks.
And I'll tell you, it's almost, and yes, if it's your dream school, it's a venerable institution. And look, when I went to college, after I graduated from high school, I learned 2 weeks before it was time for me to go that I was not going because of money. And it was the hardest thing that I've had to experience, because I was all set for everything. And to have it pulled away at that point just had me angry for a very, very, very long time. Ultimately, I got to school, a different school, that following January. But this is a really, 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 really tough period for all of those students. And for that to have happened, I know they had deadlines. In many cases, these students said they had pending federal financial aid, they had military benefits, there were private scholarships that had yet to be processed or dispersed, and it was all going to happen. They had a July 10th deadline. I think when I went to college that first semester, I was able to get my dad, was able to have enough to pay for that first semester, but I had no idea how I was getting back. And they did tell us in the freshman seminar to look to your right, look to your left. When you graduate, one of those people will not be here, not because they weren't smart, but because it was financial aid. And I, again, had no idea I was going back and did not learn until 2 weeks before I was going back where the money was coming from. I got a scholarship then. So this kind of deadline, yeah, I would have been out again because it happens after that. And this is really, it's really tough for these students who were there. They're saying, Howard says that they're doing case-by-case reviews of each one. They did begin reinstating some of the students and stated that spots belonging to the affected students are being held rather than being given to the wait list so far. So anybody who's been impacted by this, Howard has set up a dedicated communication channel encouraging these students with questions or with pending documentation issues to email enrollmentmanagement@howard.edu or to contact the bursar's office. But this is really tough. And I say I know it from personal experience, but to be there and to be at this point is really hard and devastating and does put a huge blemish on whatever happens from here for these young people. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we have yet to talk about LeBron to Philly and Ryan Clark. We'll do that right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
3 days, 3 phenomenal women, award-winning commentator Joy Reid, and the ultimate it girl Keke Palmer, and gospel's best Leandria Johnson, only at the Black Women's Expo, Friday, July 31st through Sunday, August 2nd at McCormick Place. Plus, live entertainment from the main stage featuring American Idol's Keela Richardson and the Los Angeles-based duo Shakespeare blending R&B, soul and pop, a house music party with DJ Celeste Alexander, and much more. Community, beauty, wellness, food, family fun, powerful conversations, and shopping all in one place. Half price adult tickets at all Walgreens locations. Sponsored by University of Chicago Medicine, Humana, City Colleges of Chicago, Rush University Medical Center, and Vive Healthcare. Check out the lineup at www.bwenext.com for more details.
Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over $400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got $10 million, Broadview $6 million, Burnham $3 million, South Holland $17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're off to a pretty good start. Nothing major happening. Still just about a 20-minute trip along the Ryan from 95th Street to downtown. Things are moving well and consistently along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, we're still seeing that northbound delay. We will see that for the next few days. Right now, that's all due to street closures in and around Grant Park as crews are setting up for Lollapalooza. So you will see some delays due to the fact that Balboa is shut down, so is Columbus. And then there's those stoplight delays. If you're on the Stevenson, you're looking at now 40 minutes from I-355 to DuSable Drive. 40 traveling out. Give yourself 50 along the Eisenhower from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. That outbound trip will take you just about a 45-minute trip. And bumped up to 35 along the Kennedy and from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the airport, a slow-moving 40-minute trip. Taking a look at our weather, it's hot and humid and muggy early this morning. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high of near 90, and there could be some storms headed our way later. Right now, we're still steady at 80 degrees at Midway. It's 80 in Chatham and 80 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. So Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edcombe, Jaylen Brown, and LeBron James.
Finally, the decision has been made.
Now the NBA can do everything else the NBA is going to do. He didn't go for the money. He's getting paid relatively peanuts. Why is LeBron James a 76er?
Multiple reasons. Number one is that he was tired of what was happening in LA with the ownership change and, getting older. He wants to compete for championships. So, unfortunately, these last couple of years in LA have been rough for him, whether it was a first-round exit or just, a bad playoff run. He decided that the team wasn't going to get any better and decided that he wanted to move on and try to play for a contender for one last ride. And so he thought that Philadelphia was the best situation for this, and now he's with the Sixers. And I really think that trade of Jaylen Brown was the X factor that pushed it all together.
I am looking at this group, and I think everything's okay except Joel Embiid, when he's not injured, likes to have the ball. And this ball is going to have to move a lot, and he gets stuck with it. And that's going to be a problem if they can't figure that part out.
Yeah, on paper, like you said, it looks like it's a phenomenal team. It looks like they're going to compete for a championship next season, but it's only one basketball.
It's only one ball and too many guys who need it. The beauty of LeBron, the good and the bad, is that he gives the ball up. Sometimes people look, dude, you're supposed to take that shot, and he makes the pass. Jaylen Brown, he's an assassin. He's just really good. Tyrese Maxey is as fast as anybody can be, very talented. VJ Edgecombe, I guess you got to have somebody else out there. And, again, Joel Embiid shoots the three. Hopefully he'll play a tougher big man in this lineup because he spends a little bit too much time on the floor to be over 7 feet tall. On the floor, literally, but on the floor.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think the biggest X factor is Joel Embiid. I think that this, honestly, before the trade happened, the trade and the signing of LeBron James, I said that this might be Joel's last year in Philadelphia because I thought that he would be getting moved on because, the process hasn't worked. Yeah, he has the one MVP, but at the same time, he's just never available. And, the best availability is being available. So it's one of those things where you're a great star, but is it time to move on from him? Now that you got LeBron James in the mix and, of course, VJ and Maxey and Jaylen Brown, what do you do with Embiid? Yes. I don't know.
It's going to be the ball. He might be too slow for this team.
Yeah.
Because even at 41, 42, LeBron is still moving like he did when he was almost like he did when he was 22. You can't slow the game down.
Yeah, that's true.
And Joel will slow the game down in the position that he's in. Even, Andre Drummond is the backup. He doesn't take a lot of shots. But you got to have – this ball is going to move. This is going to be showtime in Philly.
And I'm glad that you brought up Drummond because he's not even on the team anymore. They don't have a good backup anymore.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. We talked about that Friday on the Fundamentals. He actually signed with New York. So he's on the Knicks now. So I don't know what you do with Joel. And then you don't have a real backup center. Who knows?
Well, it's going to be interesting and fun to watch. And LeBron signs a 2-year deal, which means don't bring out the rocking chair just yet. He's hanging, looking to be around. Is that where you expected him to go? I thought he would go to Cleveland.
Honestly, I thought he was going to the Warriors. I thought that he wouldn't give up an opportunity to try to play with Steph and Draymond. So I just knew he was going there, or I thought he would go back to Cleveland. Those are my two.
I thought Cleveland. I thought he would put a bookend on his career and finish it up where he began and go back there. But look, I'm not LeBron, even though we share a birthday. I'm not LeBron, and they determined the decisions that they made. However it came out, somebody was going to be happy, and a lot of more people were not. So people will say whatever they will. Wish he was here, but he's not. So we'll see what we have. I guess we get to watch all the other teams coming to Chicago to watch them play because I don't even know who's on the Bulls anymore.
And you won't
for all of those reasons. I see you all obviously talked about this on Friday too. Ryan Clark. This one was tough. Ryan Clark, good frat, bro. Everybody, is that not every
frat?
Everybody's not. Just the good guys and the great guys are. Kwame, Aaron, Ryan Clark, me. Yeah, he said he wasn't laid off. Layoff is one thing. You lay off in order to get, they say, to get the numbers right because your budgets and all off. He said he was fired, and they took this as a convenient way to do it. And he was quite emotional on his show when he talked about this.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing him actually get fired on air in the middle of a segment, I mean, how low can you actually be? And just like you said, to hear his statement about what he said about being laid off and fired, and I think it's one of those things because he was talking so much pro-black that the ESPN just had enough of it. And it's just so sad because we don't get that many opportunities to see a lot of great athletes go into journalism and go into broadcasting because of, they got different business ventures. But when you're actually good at it and people love to see you actually talking and your talking points, it's just something sad that this did need to happen.
It didn't. He was making the case. He was making the statements. If anything, they should have kept him because of that. There was nothing that he said that I recall that was off. I'm sure there was something, but nothing that got elevated, nothing that I recall, as he really went and defended a number of things in our community for our people and said and did the things that were there, particularly when he went against some other places and some of the people who came out against. You start to watch this, and it's, again, what Kwame and I talked about yesterday, what we talked about before, what we've talked about here. This whole issue of white supremacy just permeates so many things, and these decisions get made. And I am not going to say everything is racist, but I will say it's all got some of that in there because you start to see what's happening and see the impact that's happening to people and know that this is part of the equation. So what Ryan Clark said is that he heard from one of his colleagues, Stephen A., a year ago, that they had put a target on, that one of the higher-ups had a target on Ryan Clark's back. And so this is what ultimately manifested itself. It didn't happen immediately, but it did happen nonetheless, and that part is just problematic.
And then the other part about that is, I don't know if you saw this too, they also let go Cam Newton as well.
And they let go of Cam Newton as well.
So it just seemed like all the brothers. And then they let go another veteran Sports Center anchor. He did the weekends, and another black man. So it's just like, I don't know what ESPN is doing right now, but it's really suspicious.
Yeah, we got to keep our eye on these things. I thought about that, and I remember thinking back to CNN and when Don Lemon was let go. But I look at CNN now, and they got a fair number of sisters who are there, right? So don't know what they're doing. I really hope that Ryan Clark shows up someplace that he's really comfortable in being because he was good at what he was doing. And he's one of these guys who ultimately, Ryan Clark played at LSU but didn't get drafted and managed to get on a couple teams anyway and went on to do this work, which he was doing quite well, and just been proud of what he's been bringing to the discussion and bringing to the conversation. So that's a voice that will be missed. Unfortunately, the others who are there can't say anything because everybody is subject to having their contract to be
not right.
renewed as well.
And that's why everybody was talking like, well, how come Stephen A. Smith hasn't said anything? And it's just one of those things where you can't talk about something you don't know about.
Yeah. What Stephen A. said is, I'm not going to talk about the owners of the station. It's a $100 million contract. So which one of us is going to blow our $100 million contract?
Not me.
I'll help you out, bro, with some bills or whatever else you need, but I'm going to keep this one because I need this one. Hopefully there'll be a day when we don't have to be concerned about those things. That day is not today. 8 o'clock, let's find out from Annette, what's happening in the headlines, what's in Black Information News. And when we come back, speaking of Black women being on tomorrow, got a sister coming on today who's got some folks coming up later in the week. It's going to be great. Mary Greene is joining us. We'll be back right after this.
Hot and sticky out the door on this Monday, July 27th, 2026. I'm Annette Flournoy, and in the headlines, weather tops our news. We're under a heat advisory and warning. The National Weather Service says the Chicago area could see a heat index of around 110. It's almost back to class 4. Chicago public school students and district leaders are still working to approve a balanced budget. And temporary protected status for thousands of Haitians living in Chicago and the U.S. expires today. National news from the Black Information Network is next on Chicago's original social media platform, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 8:01.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies. That's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? More ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better. Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
This summer, experience live music under the stars at Ravinia, everybody. Gladys Knight, Brian McKnight are going to headline, and they'll be joined by Chance the Rapper, and a special opening night gala performance featuring Lizzo with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. See great performances all season long, from legendary voices to hometown favorites. Ravinia brings unforgettable sounds to the summer stage. Get your tickets now at ravinia.org.
It's Cleopatra Draper.
I liken myself to be a great listener, and what I just heard was rhetoric. You gone on Magaland, and they got you real good. And I don't know if you can come back to reality, but in reality, those insurrectionist thugs that you are acknowledging that attacked police officers that they proclaim that they love, that attacked the halls of Congress that we say that we love, that attacked the Constitution and was not only pardoned, but was almost granted reparations, is a slap in the face for the Constitution that you saying you're fighting for.
Middays at 9 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by ComEd, powering lives. Here's a great savings idea. Did you know you've got the power to manage your energy? Yep, from usage alerts to energy saving programs and more. ComEd has all kinds of ideas to help you gain control over your energy saving costs. Find out more at ComEd.com/energy savings.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Things are still moving well as you make your way along the Ryan, just a 20-minute trip still from 95th Street to downtown. So far, so good along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. Nothing major happening there. DuSable Lakeshore Drive northbound from 67th Street to Jackson. You will move along at the posted speed. You will see a few brake lights, though, as you approach Soldier Field. That's mainly due to the fact that there are lots of street closures in and around Grant Park as crews are setting up for Lollapalooza. Plus, you got those stoplight delays there at Roosevelt Road and Monroe. If you're on the Stevenson, still 40 minutes from I-355 to DuSable Drive, 4-day traveling out. Give yourself 55 minutes along the Eisenhower from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. Outbound will take you 45. And the Kennedy, still not too bad. A 35-minute trip in from O'Hare to downtown, getting to the airport now 42 minutes. Taking a look at our weather, you could cut it with a knife. It's just thick and hot and soupy. The National Weather Service says we're under a couple heat advisories today, expected to remain in effect until around 9 tonight. But right now, temperatures making their way near 90. 88 is our official high, 76 our low tonight. Right now, we are looking at still 80 degrees and foggy at Midway. It's 80 in Chatham and 80 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flurnoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Rufus Williams on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
You wonder how to do it. It's just one simple rule. I'm just cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Hey. R-U-F-U-S. What's that spell? R-U-F-U-S. I'm just cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Sing it, baby. R-U-F-U-S. What's that spell? R-U-F-U-S. That spell cool.
The Audio Genius, the Audio Genius, the Audio
Welcome back. So I covered everything on my list with the exception of catching up with what's going on, the latest with Nolan Xavier Wells and what's happening at Tuskegee. So we'll either get to that later or we'll get to it tomorrow. But those things were the only two things, I think, that I had on my list that we didn't get to. But this thing I must get to because there's a whole lot going on here in Chicago at McCormick Place from July 31st to August 2nd. There's the lady, I don't know why she's not in the studio, but she's on the phone. It is none other than Mary Greene. Mary Greene, good morning and welcome back to WVON. And why am I talking to you?
Rufus.
Why am I talking to you on the phone? Why are you not here?
I don't know. I wasn't invited in the studio. I don't know.
Unacceptable. That is unacceptable. And next year, Mary, I'm not talking to you unless you're here. But I'm always glad to talk to you because I thought you'd just tell me you got so much going on, which you do.
No.
Given what's coming up. You've been busy though.
Oh, big show.
Tell us
it took off.
It did. You've got my favorite girls on there. I don't really know Leandria Johnson, but Kiki is
you'll know when you hear her. Oh my God.
Kiki is my adopted daughter, so I'll be there on Saturday.
Wow.
I haven't seen her in a minute. So I'll be there on Saturday to see Kiki. So save my spot.
The ultimate it girl, right?
The ultimate it girl she has become, which is so amazing.
And I'm really excited about Joy Reid on Friday. Joy Ann Reid.
You have to be because she's going to speak her truth as she always does. So you got Joy Ann Reid on Friday, Kiki Palmer on Saturday, Leandria Johnson on Sunday, and you've got a thing happening on Thursday. What are you doing, Mary? What's happening on Thursday?
don't know how to stop. We have our gala, Phenomenal Woman Awards Gala, and we're really excited. Everybody is when you get in the Obama Presidential Center. So we will be on the museum side on Thursday night, recognizing 12 phenomenal women. So very exciting for that. And then, of course, the Expo starts the next morning. So it's really our kickoff. But we always have that event to really recognize all of the work that's being going on in the community by all of these lovely, wonderful women that we will be recognizing on Thursday night.
Can you tell us some of those you're recognizing? You're not going to tell us everybody, and nobody should be offended if their name isn't mentioned.
They can't be. But I'm going to start with Diane Dinkins-Carr.
Yes, we know her.
Yes, with art. Yes. Dr. Lisa Greene from Family Christian Health Center. She's on the healthcare side. Education from Chicago Public Schools, Dr. Macklin Keene.
Heard of her.
Oh, it's a list. Shanita Muse from Hope Center Foundation on the nonprofit organizations. Deborah Cozy Lane from the state of Illinois. Really excited about Dr. Mildred Harris. She is such a wonderful lady from God First Church and Ministries. And then we have in memoriam 2 women. Tracy Austin from Danielle Ashley Communications, who we all worked with for years, and Barbara Deere, who's a community servant, her and her son. So we're recognizing all of those women, so that's very exciting. But we also have, I was looking at the list, I'm like, we have so many local people doing sessions and workshops at the Expo, and I think that's the wonderful thing about the platform we created. I mean, if it's not Carl West, who's going to do Men Motivating Men, or Victor Love going to talk about mental health in Black men, or Pepper Miller, phenomenal people. What are Black women choosing now? Love McPherson to talk about relationships. So it's really an opportunity for all of us, not just, this team over here, but for all of the people in Chicago that want to talk to Black women.
That's phenomenal. Let's go back to Thursday. You mentioned some of the women who are these phenomenal sisters. Heartbreaking to think about. Tracy and Miss, just heartbreaking on so many different levels. So thank you for honoring them. Who's going to be there? Who are the people in the audience at the
Well, of course, it's going to be everybody who is supporting these women. Cheryl Burton from ABC7 is the host and the MC. So all of those women who we named, and there are 12. I mean, when we look at who are, buying tickets and wanting to be there, it is certainly all of their support. Alex Sims Jones from APS and Associates. She was in charge of the whole, Reverend Jackson homegoing. So there's so many people that will be there. But it's a smaller venue. If you know anything about the Obama Presidential Center, there's 2 event spaces. We're on the museum side in the Sky Room, which is, may hold 250 to 300 people. Now, the other side, the home court is much larger. So, and that's the next night. I think that's the Emmett Foundation event. So
fantastic. So the 2026 BWE Phenomenal Women Awards at the Obama Presidential Center in the Sky Room, which is Thursday at 6 p.m. If you're going, you already know it. So we just let you know that this is happening to kick off the conference, which is going to take place down at McCormick Place.
McCormick in the North Building, yes. And we're back to the hall that everybody loves, where you cannot get in the show without passing by all of our breakout rooms. And I encourage people to come to all of these sessions. Sit in there for a half hour and listen to what the information and all of the education that people will be bringing. And then you can go on the exhibit floor and have fun and shop and be at the main stage and all of the entertainment, fashion shows and everything that's going on, and all of the local entertainment and national. So it's going to be great.
So one of these years, I'm going to pay you so I can be there and say something.
You don't have to pay me. You don't have to.
Clearly I do, because I don't get invited
otherwise. We might be calling you to moderate an event. Just hold on. One of the sessions, because we have so many, and it's like, oh my God, who's moderating that? Who's doing that? So just hold on, please.
You do. I'm seeing all these pictures on your website at bwenext.com, bwenext.com, of all that's happening. When you've got these really heavy people coming in to do it, how are the days structured, Mary? How can people best know when the best time to go is, those who can't be there all the time?
Yeah, well, the show opens 10 to 7 on both Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday it's a little later, 11 to 6. Ribbon cutting at 9:30 is packed with all the local politicians and celebrities in the entrance of the expo. And then the show starts at 10 o'clock. We don't really start anything on our main stage until an hour in and let people get in at 11 o'clock. But if you look, and you'll be able to click on a link shortly that shows you everything that's happening. So you can pick and choose and know what time these sessions will be. But everything goes from about 11 to 5 in terms of our breakouts. But the main floor is constantly from 10 to 7, and you see all of the vendors. We have over 225 small business vendors right now. We have a culinary pavilion where chefs will be sampling, their favorite and signature dishes in their restaurants. We have the huge pavilion, which is beauty and hair. We have a kids corner. We have a literary cafe with book signings where Joy Reid will actually sign books right after her session at 1 o'clock on Friday. So we're putting everything up so you can see it. There's a lot going on, and we hope that, people will just come and partake.
I did have an opportunity to spend some time with Joy Reid out at St. Sabina earlier this year. Just phenomenal sister. Yeah, she did we did a fireside chat, so I got to sit and chat with her. Just phenomenal insights that she brings on a much informed and educated basis, and she doesn't have to have any filter. She's independent now, so she is. She will bring to you what all those things are that you need to have. So she's doing, and she'll be doing her book signing. What's Kiki?
Yes.
What's Kiki doing?
Oh my God, Kiki! Not only is she going to be on our main stage at on Saturday, I believe at 2:30, but she'll be interviewed and talk about all that she's involved in. But what is wonderful, she has a new product called Practice by Palmer, her last name, and it is an online Pilates instruction where you can subscribe. So guess what she's doing at 4:15? We have a private Pilates class that she is hosting, and 100 women will get an opportunity. You'll be able to look on our website starting this afternoon and register for that. When it's done, it's done. And you walk away with a Pilates mat that has been sponsored and provided by Humana. So
100 women, no guys doing the Pilates thing.
That's interesting. 100 people.
Okay.
If you want to do Pilates, come on.
I've never done it before. You never know.
That I want to see.
Kiki,
but
watch it. Kiki is a phenomenal talent in so many ways in which people may not recognize. I think the last time I saw her was actually when she was the Grand Marshal at the Bud Billiken Parade a number of years ago. And she gave me a copy of her CD because she also sings.
She's a singer, I know.
Yeah, she is just
actress, television host, not afraid of anything. That's the thing I love about her. She'll tackle it up. No one can tell her that she can't do it.
So I met her soon after she did Aquila and the Bee. And she came down to the board. We took a nice picture. She signed, and when it got developed, she signed it and sent it to me. And what I loved about it is that she misspelled my name. And so when I saw her again, I said, how you going to be Aquila and the Bee and you going to misspell my name? So, I'm sorry. No. I'll send you another one. I'm like,
Rufus or William?
I won't even tell you. Well, it was Rufus. She said, I'll send you another one. I said, no. This is classic. I'll keep this one just like this is. So it's gonna be a great day. We're talking with Mary Greene. The Black Women's Expo is happening this weekend. When we come back, we'll tell you how to get tickets because she wants to make sure that you are in the house and you're bringing these young women with you because there's so much to be shared, so much to be done. More with Mary Greene right after this.
More of The Morning Show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Vaughn TV has your summer watch list covered. Go behind the headlines with the official launch of Portraits in Color, featuring candid conversations with music executive Matthew Knowles, community leader Jotaka Edie, and actress Danielle Truitt.
My family's very proud. It was very cool to, when the show first came out and to see myself in those credits, with dun 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 dun, and be like, that's me. That's crazy, It is very cool to be a part of the legacy of Law & Order now.
And that's just the beginning. Premiering this month, Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and Friends, a fresh new series featuring inspiring conversations about health, wellness, creativity, and living life to the fullest. This July, there's something for everyone on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at Vaughn.tv. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
It's Cleopatra Draper.
But when you say certain things like that, it's just not
I
right.
know it's your show.
I know. That's why you called me.
I'm reading the article right here.
Yeah, but you can read. But
Section 2.
yeah, but as you read in the Constitution, they are moving the goalposts. Bianca, you too old for this.
Nobody's moving the goalposts.
Oh, nobody's moving the goalposts? Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They definitely are. And you, that big black hope on the 50-yard line, saying, let me play.
Middays at 9 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Early detection saves lives. Ladies, if you're due for a mammogram, don't wait. Breast cancer is most treatable when it's found early. UChicago Medicine makes it easier to take charge of your health. Eligible patients can self-schedule their mammogram online or through MyChart in just minutes. Visit uchicagomedicine.org/memo to schedule your screening. That's uchicagomedicine.org/memo. UChicago Medicine at the forefront.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're beginning to see some delays along DuSable Lakeshore Drive from Hollywood to Monroe, a 16-minute trip from 67th Street to Jackson. Not too bad, but you will hit the brakes right around Balboa all the way to Monroe. This is mainly due to stoplight delays due to the fact that there are street closures in and around Green Park as crews are setting up for Lollapalooza. No changes along the Ryan. Still that 20-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. Things are still fine along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. A 40-minute trip still along the Stevenson in from I-355 to DuSable Drive, 40 traveling out. 50 minutes in from along the Eisenhower from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 45 on the return trip. And the Kennedy, we're seeing a slight improvement, a 33-minute trip in from O'Hare to downtown. We're seeing 33 minutes to the airport as well. Taking a look at our weather, it's hot and humid out the door this morning. Temperatures climbing to a daytime high of around 90 today. Right now, we're looking at 81 at Midway. It's 81 in Harvey and 81 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Rufus Williams. Welcome back. Talking to Mary Greene. She is everything about the Black Women's Expo. Mary, how many years have you been doing this now?
31.
31 years.
This is our 31st anniversary.
That's amazing.
That's amazing to me, too. Who would have known that it would have, even lasted 5 years? And here we are.
So when you stop and look back at it, what is it, Mary, that makes you continue to do this every year?
It's the people that are involved. I mean, the small businesses that contact us every week to find out when the expo is. Are we going to have a sale, a discount, as we always do every year? How do they get to be a part of it? You know, it's all of the nonprofit organizations that want to be at the show, can afford to be at the show because we keep it affordable and want to bring different issues and do screenings, health screenings all over the place. I mean, the expo has more health participants than anything else. There's no reason to stop as long as you have that kind of support.
Indeed. So we're going to have to talk about succession planning because you've got a plan for the next group that's going to do this going forward.
I do.
Yeah, really, 31 years is a hell of a run, and it can't ever stop because of the importance of what it brings to us. You mentioned discounts. How do people get to the expo?
Walgreens. Half-price adult tickets are always there for our show, and you can get them now. And please get them before you come to the expo. When you get at McCormick Place, they will be full price. So they will be on sale all the way through the show. So you can get them on Friday if you want to, or Saturday of the show. But please get the half-price tickets there. I want to mention this big town hall meeting we're doing on Saturday, Rufus, around battling our voting rights. And that is being hosted and moderated by Congressman Jonathan Jackson. And this is a critical conversation that I wanted to have, make sure that we had, because of all of that's going on with voter suppression and, you know, the maps and everything that, you know, some of us know little about and need to know a lot more about. And so he's bringing a heavyweight group to discuss that, and that's going to be Saturday at 1 o'clock at the Expo.
Well, thank you so much for that, and thank you for doing that. This is one of these things that if there's anything that's important to us, it's got to be this, and it's got to be our ability to be able to go and vote all the time. And no matter what the hurdles, we've still got to make this happen. So the fact that you're bringing this to that stage with the folks that you're bringing it, thank you for elevating that, because that is critical.
Oh, for sure.
Critical for all that we do. You mentioned that our colleague here at WVON, Carl West, is going to be there too. What's Carl doing? He's doing something for the brothers.
He always does something around men motivating men, I think is the title of his conversation, as always. And he brings a group of black men to discuss, you know, some of the issues that they face and how they can, you know, surround each other, lift each other up. And it's called Men Motivating Men. So he'll be there, as well as I mentioned, Victor Love, talking to men about mental health, which is something he's been doing for a while all around the city. And so he's bringing that to the Expo as well.
Mary, do you find that men are showing up for these conversations, or are there women showing up for these conversations, or is it both?
It is really men in many of these cases. These two sessions that I'm speaking about, women do ease in as well, but it's really kind of, in fact, I think Victor Love likes it, would prefer it to be just men, so that men don't feel any pressure or, you know, are comfortable talking about whatever they'd like to speak about. So, no, we make sure that we have some sessions and some activations for men at the Expo.
Good, because I'll tell you, one woman in the room changes the dialogue.
It changes it.
It really does. No matter where, one woman changes everything. And so in order to have a good and comfortable conversation, the brothers should show up for that. In fact, the brothers, there are a whole lot of reasons to show up at the Black Women's Expo. So brothers, you want to go to Walgreens, get your discount tickets too.
Right.
And make sure that you are there. You've got something special for young women as well, Mary.
Always. I mean, always. There's so many sessions, and there is all of the activations on the floor, our huge pavilion, all of the demonstrations that will be done with our hair, as well as everything on our main stage, the fashion. We have the Keela Richardson. She was an American Idol contestant, almost won. She'll be performing. We also have a new band out of L.A. called Shakespeare. So we're bringing a lot of young components as well, because that's the thing. The Expo services everybody, almost 8 to 80. I mean, come to the show, and we want to make sure that we have programming that they all feel comfortable with. Like I said, Love McPherson will be talking about relationships. That's important to young women as well. But health is a big thing. So there's quite a bit of health sessions and seminars and screenings on our floors, and organizations that will be there: Northwestern, University of Chicago Medicine, Howard Brown Health, so many organizations with information that will help us as we talk about our health.
Mary, I love what you're doing. Thank you so much for doing it. So I've got to be there on Friday to kick it with Joyanne Reed, my girl. I've got to come out on Saturday for the voter discussion and to see my my adopted daughter, Kiki. And my good brother, Michael Hughes, said he did Pilates to help him with his hip. So, I need some hip work. So I'll be signed up for my Pilates classes with Kiki as well.
That I want to see. That I want to see.
And then get my gospel on with Leandria Johnson.
Let me tell you what else to get on Sunday, because I don't want to mention it, miss this. I wanted to make sure I brought him in. They contacted us. Ahmaud Arbery's father.
Oh, really?
Yes. He will be there on Sunday in one of our breakouts. He's got a book called Where's My Daddy that just came out. But this is the young man that was jogging.
Yes. No, remember it well. This is the place to be this weekend. It's Chicago.
Yes.
There's always something going on. Be at McCormick Place. Go get your tickets. Mary, we'll talk offline, because whatever you need me for, I'm there for. But because you got too many things I need to be there for. So
all right.
We'll chat we'll make it work. Look, thank you so much for doing what you do, and thanks for coming on to elevate the work. Thank you. Let's find out from Annette what's going on in the news. I've got more for you when we come back after this.
Hot and humid this morning as temperatures climb near 90. Good morning. I'm Annette Flurnoy, and here's what's happening. 7 Save-A-Lot stores on Chicago's south and west sides are now closed.
It's the same old story, to be honest with you. And it's not just here. It's nationally when it comes down to black communities.
Doors closed on Saturday. This comes after the city gave the parent company Yellow Banana more than $13 million to renovate 6 locations. In a statement, store officials said they will continue to work with city and community leaders for alternative ways to provide access to quality food and for residents, however, did not give any specifics. Today is a big deadline for as many as 300,000 Haitians. Temporary protected status for Haitians living in Chicago and throughout the U.S. expires today. A federal appeals court judge blocked the Trump administration from ending TPS last Friday, giving them protections through the weekend till today. Last week, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul spoke exclusively with Rufus Williams. He says he, along with 20 attorneys, are asking Congress to pass legislation that would provide judicial oversight and set up a pathway to permanent residency.
The president made the misstatement of Haitians eating cats and dogs. And so one of the things we have to do also is just call out the racism of the president, the racism of the Supreme Court ignoring the nature of the statements coming out of the president's mouth. Because, and what people have to understand, one of the challenges to the decision was that it was based on discrimination. And the Supreme Court just rejected that.
Now the case is set to go before an appeals court later today. And that's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVO News Time, 8:34.
It's Rufus Williams. The thrill of summer is finally here, which also means it'll be over before we know it. This fall, the Rufus Williams Travel Club is heading to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Join me as we experience the beauty, the brilliance, and the culture of one of America's most captivating cities. We'll enjoy the charm of the Lowcountry, breathtaking scenery, incredible cuisine, and the rich African-American history of Charleston. There will also be a few special surprises designed just for our group. So whether you're traveling alone, with family, or with friends, you'll be welcomed into an unforgettable experience filled with great people and great memories. Space is limited, and the best rates are right now. Simply go to WVON.com, click on the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner, and reserve your space. Advantage International is the official travel partner of the Rufus Williams Travel Club. Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Travel with people, travel with purpose, travel with us.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Vaughn TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Protect your money and build your wealth. Sundays at 3 p.m., host and owners of Top and Top Insurance Agency, Clydell and Betty Top, teach you about protecting your assets, 401ks, annuities, life after retirement, the differences and benefits of life insurance, and they take questions. Their advice can enhance your financial future and your legacy. Call for a free WVON financial consultation, 773-881-8110. Tune in Sundays at 3 p.m. to protect your money and build your wealth. Powered by Top and Top Insurance Agency.
This report is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate. Why make things harder than they need to be? There's a better way to save time and money. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We've seen a 20-minute trip along the Ryan throughout the morning from 95th Street into downtown. Still moving well along both the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. If you're on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, expect just about a 15-minute trip from 67th Street to Jackson. You will see brake lights right around Balboa, then stop and go to Monroe. Those are two stoplight delays due to the fact that there are street closures in and around Grant Park as crews are setting up for Lollapalooza. From Hollywood to Monroe, just bumped up to 17 minutes. If you're on the Stevenson, no changes there. 40 minutes from I-355 to DuSable Drive, 40 traveling out. We're looking at now just about 56 minutes along the Eisenhower from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 45 from the return, and still just about a 33-minute trip along the Kennedy in from O'Hare to downtown, 33 minutes to the airport. Taking a look at our weather, quite foggy this morning and humid and hot. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high near 90. We could see a heat index that'll make it feel like 110. Temperatures tonight leveling off at around 76. We're climbing through the 80s right now. We're up to 82 at O'Hare. It's 82 in Austin and 82 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. You know, I mentioned there were just a couple things that I didn't get to this morning. There were actually more, and one is a story that Annette just told us about with respect to Save a Lot. We also didn't get an update on Father Flager. It was also, I mentioned Nolan Wells, the dress code at Tuskegee, and the Italians who want the Columbus statue restored down in Grant Park. So there are a number of things we didn't get to, but I do want to go back and hit on this one that's really really significant. This one around Save-A-Lot stores, because these are very often, in a number of our communities, the only real grocery store that's there. And in this day and age, when we do talk about the issues of affordability, we talk about the issues of access, we recognize that gas prices are high, that safety is at a premium, because one thing that people are going to do is to make sure that they have what they need, no matter where they have to get it from. And if anybody's hungry, all of us are unsafe. With the Save-A-Lot stores, the CEO of Save-A-Lot, Joe Canfield was his name, he had a stroke back in April, a fatal stroke, and that put a lot of pressure on these grocery stores. It is a very difficult business anyway. If you heard the conversation that I had with Melody Winston, they talked about, she and the alderman, Ronnie Mosley, talked about opening up a fresh market store down in West Pullman. It is not an easy business. You think about wanting to bring in fresh produce and having to account for spoilage, just of that. The margins are very thin, and trying to manage through all that becomes extraordinarily difficult. I know there was a lot of acrimony around Save-A-Lot coming into the space that used to be Whole Foods down on 63rd Street, and ultimately they came to something, but now even that's going to be closed, if not already closed. So this is a really big and devastating issue for our community. And what the answer is, I don't know. But somewhere in the city's Department of Planning and Development has got to be the determination of what to do here. There's got to be some conversation with whoever it is, whether Fresh Markets can do more, or you need some of these major chains that have left our communities to come in. Our people have to eat, and they have to eat well. And somehow, given what we pay for everything, there's got to be a way to get this done. It is a big deal. It's a bigger deal than we've discussed, but not having those stores is problematic for us in every way. We've talked about the closures, the loss of Walgreens. We've talked about Target, and now we've got Save-A-Lot. What we really need is a push to bring some of these places back into our community versus those that are leaving. And I know some of the pressure on the stores that are in our community has gotten greater with the loss of SNAP benefits because people don't have more money to spend. They didn't have more money in the beginning, and when these benefits are cut, that means the stores aren't going to be able to sell more, which is going to just have the domino effect every place, which we're seeing right here with Save-A-Lot. Problematic on every single level. Let's do this, Titus. We've got had a conversation about migraine headaches, of which I have suffered for much of my life, and many others do. But there's some information here that I think can be helpful to you. Let's play that interview.
Great morning, Rufus. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dr. Charleston. How are you? Welcome to WVON.
Thank you so much. I am fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. Very excited and grateful to be here.
No, it's good to have you. You know, June is Migraine and Headache Awareness Month, but those people who get migraines and headaches don't need awareness. We already know. There's been so much going on, and I personally have been getting migraines since I was 11 years old, which means a very, very long time. But I understand approximately 43 million Americans are living with migraines, and about 1,000 live with cluster headaches, conditions that drive emergency department visits. Joining us this morning is Dr. Larry Charleston, who is a professor of neurology, founder of the Charleston Health, Neurology, and Head Pain Consultants, and an adjunct faculty at the Jefferson Headache Center. Knowing a lot about this space, Doc, talk to us. Why are migraines and cluster headaches so difficult to treat? And tell us, because I can, how do they impact people's daily lives?
Well, Rufus, thank you so much. And you're absolutely right. June was Migraine and Headache Awareness Month, but I like to say I've learned that headache disease and disorders don't necessarily read a calendar, right?
Exactly.
So there can be some weather and seasonal triggers. And notice I said headache diseases. So let's start with migraine. Migraine is more than just a headache. Migraine is a brain disease. It's the second most disabling neurological disease in adults globally. And yes, moderate to severe headaches that last 4 to 72 hours untreated or unsuccessfully treated are part of the diagnostic criteria. Migraine attacks are often associated with nausea and/or vomiting, sensitivity to light, sounds, and even sometimes smells. Migraine has different phases, and about 20 to 30% of people living with migraine disease have aura, and I explain aura to my patients as a reversible neurological symptom, most commonly in migraine being visual or sensory disturbances. Migraine is the most common headache disorder in which people seek medical attention. However, it is often underdiagnosed. On the other hand, we have cluster headache. Cluster headache is also underdiagnosed, but the headache attacks are a little bit shorter. They're about 15 minutes to 3 hours, and it's associated, cluster headache is associated with severe or very severe headache attacks, usually around the eye. And these attacks may occur multiple times in a day. It's associated with head autonomic nervous system activation. And when I say autonomic nervous system, I kind of explain that as kind of the automatic nervous system that you don't think about that happens. So like we go into a bright room and our pupils constrict so we can see better. That's the kind of the autonomic nervous system. And an activation in cluster that we may see is one-sided tearing or eye redness or pinpoint pupils or droopy eyelid or nasal congestion or running on one side of the face or face or forehead sweating. And or we may see a sense of restlessness, which differs a bit from migraine, where people kind of really want to be, oftentimes want to be in a cool, quiet, dark room, versus in cluster headache, there's a sense of restlessness or agitation. They got to move around, that sort of thing. And the pain of cluster headaches may be the most painful condition that humans experience. In fact, cluster headaches is also and oftentimes referred to as suicide headaches. Cluster headaches may come in cycles lasting 2 weeks to 2 months, but may also be chronic with less than 1 month of head pain or attack freedom. So both of these are highly disabling disease, and both of these headache disorders and disease need to be recognized in order to optimize treatment.
Oh, Doc, you are talking my life. Particularly, I don't get the clusters, but I get the migraines and the aura and all. So I appreciate my migraines, but I also now appreciate clusters, as you've explained those as well. And to this day, I'm knocking on wood because I don't get the pain that accompanies my migraines, but I do have the aura. My eyes, I just can't see for a while, and I've just got to go someplace and close them and continue to try to function. But you're a neurologist, a professional neurology. Why do these happen? Why do we get these headaches? What's behind them?
Yeah. So this is one of those things that we are learning more and more about the pathophysiology, because this is where you're talking about the pathophysiology of the headache. And I must say, when we talk about headache diseases, there's about 300 different headache diseases. We utilize what's called the International Classification of Headache Disorders. It's in its 3rd version right now. I think the 4th version is underway, but it's in its 3rd version right now. And so if you have heard before, or people have heard, because I when I was in my residency, I was like, say what? That sort of thing, with 300 different headache disorders. And so having the right diagnoses first is really important. But as we get to the different diagnoses, we're trying to understand more and more about the patho, and we're learning some different things, but we're trying to understand more and more about the pathophysiology of each of the different, of many of the different headache diseases as well. So we're still learning, and we're growing, and it's getting more and more. And we literally had just last month had a scientific meeting where some great science was shared about headache disease. So it's something that we learn about, Rufus. We're really learning more and more about it.
Yeah, it's something. And I started getting them when I was 11 years old. I'm a lot longer in the tooth than that now. But it would be once a year, and it would be just the kind of pain that I could not describe, with all of the the vomiting and everything else. It took me out for a couple of days. Fortunately, as I've gotten older, all of that doesn't happen, but I do appreciate people who are still dealing with this. So I hope your neurologists get there faster for those who will still get through it and have to deal with it. But talk to us about this, because now... We'll be back more with Dr. Charleston right after this.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over 400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got 10 million, Broadview 6 million, Burnham 3 million, South Holland 17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WBON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
No major changes in your travel times, but we are tracking a couple incidents on the side of the Ryan. You do want to look out for an accident. It is blocking the left lane right at the Stevenson ramp, not affecting any travel time because traffic pretty light traveling out. We're seeing another situation on the outbound side of the Eisenhower. That's a disabled vehicle blocking the left lane there at 17th. That outbound trip right now registering at just about 40 minutes, but we could see that travel time go up because there is lane blockage there. Taking a look at our weather, it's hot and muggy and hazy and foggy. The National Weather Service says we're looking at a daytime high near 90 today. Right now, temperatures are continuing to climb through the 80s. We're looking at 82 at Midway. It's 82 in Washington Heights and 82 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Inha Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Some treatments that are available to try to help with these migraines and cluster headaches. Talk about the Brachia auto-injector and what that is and how that helps.
Yeah. So and when you were talking, it reminded me that we do see a genetic component in migraine disease, by the way. So we see that there's some genetics, that there's a higher prevalence of people who are related than who are not. So, but the Brachia auto-injector is the first and only auto-injector that delivers dihydroergotamine mesylate, and if you allow me, I'll say DHE because that's what we call it often, for the acute treatment. Yes, sir. For the acute treatment of migraine with or without aura and cluster headaches in adults. So DHE is a well-established treatment with 80 years of clinical use. It is often effective in patients who don't respond to other therapies, and it may provide sustained headache relief lasting up to 72 hours and has been shown to reduce headache recurrence significantly. In addition, other treatments may need to be taken at the first sign of an attack for best results. In fact, I'm always encouraging my patients to do that. But there's a four-letter word that sometimes come into play called life, right? And so what's really cool about DHE is that it can be effective at any point during the attack. And now, as you mentioned, Professor, now I'm always educated, and so it's important to understand the safety of information as well. The Brachia auto-injector should not be used with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. And so what's CYP3A4? Well, it's an enzyme system that our liver has to help us to break down different medications and things like that. So the Brachia auto-injector should not be used with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors such as HIV medications or certain antibiotics like erythromycin, ketoconazole, nor should it be used with people with certain cardiovascular conditions or those patients who are pregnant or planning to become pregnant. So patients are really encouraged to talk to their healthcare professional to ensure that it is appropriate for them.
Okay, you've given all of the appropriate caveats, but as we start to think about this, you said this should be used at the first sign. So for someone like me, my first sign would be when I start looking and seeing something that's impacting my vision. Is that pretty much typical for folks who get migraines, or is it different for different people with migraines or even with cluster headaches?
Well, so dealing with migraine first, right, because they're separate diseases, what we would say is that only 20 to 30% of people roughly have the oral. I think that's what you mean with you're talking about the visual. And yes. So, but this is it's the Brachia auto-injector is a single dose auto-injector that delivers 1 milligram of DHE, and it's really ideal for people, adults who need acute treatment. And it's usually at the headache attack, okay, of migraine with or without aura or cluster headaches. And so it may be helpful, especially helpful in those who may not have responded well to triptans, G-pens, or other oral medication, or need long relief, or they have menstrual migraine, or they have migraine attacks that last for several days. So generally, we're talking at the onset. So the headache phase is one phase of migraine, and we're talking about the onset of the headache in migraine disease.
Got it. So when the pain begins, that's the best time to use this auto injector.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you also mentioned the genetics of these headache diseases. So if I get them, are my children likely to get them?
Well, what we've found is that, and the genetic studies are still being done, that we see an increase in prevalence. So meaning we see more people with this hereditary component than we see that don't have a hereditary component. So there's no, I couldn't say that your kids would get this or not. They may be more likely because we just see that there's a little bit higher prevalence in the hereditary in families. Like it kind of runs in families a little bit more than not running in families.
Got it. So coming back then to the Brachia auto-injector, when someone is doing this, is this something that's prescribed by your doctor, or do we talk to specialists like you, Dr. Charleston, or how does someone get to the Brachia auto-injector?
Yeah, so it is available. Absolutely, it's available by prescription, right? So, and we think of Brachia auto-injector as another tool that we have to help empower patients in managing their migraine and/or cluster disease. And no single treatment option works for everyone, and so people should talk to their healthcare professional to ensure that it would be an appropriate treatment for them.
Yeah, probably what's always recommended. Now, talk about, for a minute, if you would, why it's important that this treatment is available in a form that people can administer themselves.
Yes. Allow me to share a very brief story. Okay?
Sure.
So thank you. So several years ago, when I was faculty at the University of Michigan, I initiated and led an outpatient infusion acute therapy program for those living with headache diseases. And similar to inpatient headache medicine programs, we gave intravenous DHE as a principal treatment, along with other treatments to help break headache cycles and treat migraine and cluster headache attacks. So our amazing advanced practice practitioners effectively termed the program a Dr. C special. I don't know about all that, but together we were able to successfully help many patients. So understanding that this medication has been used for years, a major benefit of Prokia auto-injectors that provides the same medication used in hospitals in a convenient, ready-to-use form that people can self-administer at home with no refrigeration or assembly or priming of the device. So it's a new way to take a known effective drug conveniently at home or on the go.
And with that, we're out of time. This is an important conversation, certainly for those who are suffering with migraines. So we'll add it in a podcast. You can catch all of that and keep it handy. Annette, appreciate the discussion this morning. There's so much in the news, so much to catch up on, and even more that we didn't get to, but we got tomorrow. And Titus, thank you as always for keeping all these things together. You do a great job, and we certainly do appreciate you for all that. As I mentioned, tomorrow you want to make sure you join in. We'll have the president of the National Council of Negro Women and Dr. Macklin King, the CPS CEO, will be joining me tomorrow as well. In the meantime, I will ask you, as I always do, as you go through the course of the day, you will come across people who are dealing with things that you know absolutely nothing about. So please be kind, always. And one more thing, on Wednesday, this Wednesday on the afternoon show will be the host roundtable. So you want to make sure you tune in for that as well. And with that, Annette, tell us what's in the headlines, and T-Dub, take us home.
Hot and sticky out the door on this Monday, July 27th, 2026. I'm Annette Vernoy, and in the headlines, 7 Save-A-Lot stores on Chicago's south and west sides are now closed. A coalition group of Italian Americans is calling for the city to put back the Christopher Columbus statues that were removed back in 2020. And it's almost back to class for Chicago public school students, and district leaders are still working to approve a balanced budget. National news from the Black Information Network is next on Chicago's original social media platform, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 9 o'clock, 9:02.